Welcome to What's Your Story, where we, Jamie Marco,
and Stan Brown.
delve into the extraordinary lives of everyday people.
Listen in as we uncover the unique tales that shape who we are.
One story at a time.
Hey, let's get ready to explore today's story.
Let's do it. Well,
Happy holidays to you.
happy everything, merry this, merry that.
I'm a
Yeah.
tree. I'm a tree.
You're a tree? Are you a moose or a tree? What are you?
I'm a moosey tree.
Oh, okay. I love that we are all inclusive of every holiday right now. So, this episode, hello, we are in the middle of the holidays. Maybe you're listening to it. Maybe you're decorating a tree or a menorah or a Kwanzaa menorah, or you're doing something fun with your family. Hello. Welcome. Dad, what a time of year.
It's best to celebrate the holidays in the tropics. I love palm trees. I
Yeah.
love the sun and the weather. It's fantastic.
You know, it's so funny. We do get the privilege. I'm privileged. I mean, we chose to live here. You chose for me to live here. But I moved back.
I was making your decisions at that time for you.
But I did come back. I came back 10 years
Yes.
ago. And so looking around the country and seeing how it's negative 18 degrees in some places is a little insane.
All about choices.
Yeah, it is. You know, this time of year is such a mix of emotions for so many different people. And I think that this year we're feeling it more than ever. You know, people are struggling. You know, people are always struggling, but it's just changed. And I feel like it can be a very festive time as we're wearing all of our Hanukkah and Christmas and lighted up things and some Kwanzaa stuff and all that good stuff. But sometimes it's a little bit heavier as well, too, for some people. And we had that episode with Kevin a few weeks
Mhm.
back, and it's a hard time of year.
Well,
So.
and people set unrealistic expectations. They have to be happy and the family, everything's got to be in order, and things are not always in order, but you make the best of what you got.
Right. And it's some people assume that everyone's with family, but sometimes this time of year, you know, family troubles are magnified and we don't get to be with family. And so we lean into what I like to call our family, our friends that are like family. People are traveling, people are higher stressed out. So, listener, as you're listening to us today, we hope that we bring you a little bit more sparkle and less funk in your day. I actually had the chance this year, as you can see, my shirt says blood donor. And this year I had the first time I ever donated blood. I don't know why I've not done it in the past, but it felt so good to do that this year. You've been a blood donor as well,
That's
right?
that's my weight loss program.
You don't lose weight by donating blood.
Well, of course, blood has a volume, has a weight to it. If I
There's
give it
no
up,
chance you've lost any. You think that your actual volume goes down on the
that's no
scale.
question.
Oh, I'm totally bringing a scale with me next time I do it because I will do it now. I will do it all the time. But it was such a
Your,
cool
your
thing.
scale will not be calibrated properly.
But it was such a cool thing because I learned that by donating blood, you
You,
save three lives.
you get a cookie,
I didn't get a cookie.
juice.
No, mm-mm.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I got a hug, and a hug was all that mattered. But today we're talking about how sometimes giving isn't always about these big, massive gifts that you give. It doesn't have to be, you know, like the latest and greatest toy, and it doesn't have to be the latest and greatest thing, but how you can also give to your community. And today we're talking about that with a really special guest that's going to share with us about how you can actually do just that and how you can give by doing other things. And we'll welcome our guest in just a little bit. But what is one of like your favorite memories of giving?
Of giving.
Or something that you got or gave? Like, yeah, yeah.
I get no time to prepare this stuff. You put me on
I
the
know.
spot.
That's the whole point.
Uh, I'll get back to you.
Really.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that like the greatest times that I have felt giving feel so good is when you give something that is personalized or customized, or that you give something to somebody that they would not have been able to get themselves. And what's really
You're
cool,
talking something tangible now?
I think both. I mean, I think like this time of year, you see all those videos that have gone viral of people that go into a Walmart or a Costco and they go up and they pay for someone else's bill before they can do it. And like, listen, not everybody can do that, and I get that. But it's just such an opportunity to think about what can you give more of? Can you donate your time? Can you volunteer? Can you go read to a classroom at a holiday party? Can you bake goods? Can you volunteer for Meals on Wheels? Can you do something like we're going to be talking about today, which is Holiday House? Like, what can you do to not just give a gift to somebody, but to actually give back? It feels so good
Oh, I
to do
feel
that.
terrible. I can't think of anything.
Well, you did some projects when you were working back in the day. Didn't you ever volunteer and do some projects?
Uh, my memory gets spotty.
Okay.
Yes, I did. I've done several, and now I feel better about that. So let's move on.
Have you ever like listened to a friend during the holidays and given your ear? Not
Oh,
literally your ear, but like, you
okay,
know.
the missing little piece over here. I'm sure at certain times, yes, I'm having
Yeah. And you've given blood.
multiple times.
Right. Why do you give blood?
Lose weight.
Listener, I'm trying. I'm like literally setting him up for
It
success,
was,
and it doesn't
it
happen.
was good for the school. It was doing it on behalf of somebody else. It was kind of nice. And probably it's good to get blood. It kind of let some of your blood out, build your volume back up again. Supposed to be good for you.
What is your favorite childhood memory of the holidays?
Hmm. Which holidays are you talking about?
Like this time, like Hanukkah, Christmas, this time of year.
I'm a kind of a latke guy. I love
Yeah.
latkes. Latkes are
Yeah.
best. It's kind of a seasonal thing. We can have Hanukkah all year long, but
Yeah.
latkes, family gets together, you bring out the lak. My grandma cooks the latkes in the oil. Oh, it's fantastic. You pick them out of the pan. She slaps your hand. You slap her back, and you take some cream cheese or sour cream, and that's the best.
I love it. I love it. That is like,
And also applesauce is good also.
I think that is the best. I'm just trying to see, you know what? I just realized our guest has not joined. Let's just kind of make sure we get her really good. So, as you know, we don't edit or filter. So, our guest is just getting ready to come in, and we're going to welcome her in. Are we ready?
More importantly, is she
I
ready?
think she is. We'll see. You know what?
I'm
She's
ready.
like in the heat of doing all the things that she does. So, I think that we should be good. But let's let her in and we'll see. I'm excited.
Hello.
Hey, you're on mute, so we'll get you off mute. Don't you look gorgeous? Hello. We are recording.
Hi, how you doing?
Good morning.
Good to see you, Sepi. So, listener, our guest today is Sepi Ackerman, who is like hot off the grounds of what the work that she's doing, and we'll get into that in a second. You're not driving, right? Like you're stationary.
I'm
Okay.
stationary.
Whew, good. Well, we
Yeah.
are all festive today.
But she's on the highway.
No, she's not on the
Oh,
highway.
just shit.
Sepi, have you met my dad before, Stan?
I haven't. Hi, Stan.
Nice to see you. Good morning.
Do you make it, or should I say, which reindeer are we calling you today?
Oh.
Actually, you've got several choices. You pick the one that
Dasher?
the most. Yeah, Dasher's good. Yes.
So,
Dasher, because
listener, well, listener, if you're not watching, we are wearing some festive gear. We've got some headbands, and my dad's wearing reindeer ears and all that good stuff. But Seppi, first of all, congratulations! You won a really incredible award this last weekend. Before we get into that, we're going to ask you this question that we ask all of our guests. What is your number today on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being it's the best day you've ever had, to a 1 being a day where you should not be out peopling, even though I know you are. What is your number right now?
And fractions count. I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess.
Okay. What's your number?
okay, am I allowed to say it out loud now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we need
shoot.
to. Yeah.
I would say a solid 9.
Woo!
That
Look
was
at that.
close.
He was close. 8.25.
Within the margin of error.
I love that. That's incredible. Not that we
Very
need
good.
you to go higher or anything, but what would it take if you were going to go 0.25 higher? What would have to happen?
It would be lovely for the kids to be off school and for me to be on break. So that would be what it takes.
Got it. And that's
That's
right
a
around the
that's a
corner.
full
Yeah.
point. Are you kidding?
Yeah. Right around the
Yeah.
corner. So let's jump into congratulating you. You won an incredible award last week. Tell us a little bit about that award.
Thank you. I was,
Yeah.
they invited me to this luncheon, SRQ Hero, Good Philanthropy. And I bought the tickets when I was out of town because I love to support, but I had never really even looked at the date. And then I get back in town and I'm like, oh, I can't do this lunch. Like, this is literally in the middle of our 5 holiday houses. So I call the editor and I say, you know what, just donate my tickets to whoever needs it. I'm sure you have clients that could enjoy coming or somebody from a different foundation. And they go, we strongly suggest you be there.
That's when you're like, okay.
So I'm like, okay, let me find a filler for my holiday house and take some time off work. But yes, it was lovely because A, it was a surprise. B, it was a room full of people that I completely admire and look up to. And C, it just so happened that my mom was in town because it was holiday house. So the fact that she was there and Ryan were there, my husband, made it that much sweeter.
So amazing. So you mentioned this is for Holiday House, and we want to get there. And this episode is airing, a day before Christmas Eve and Christmas, and you've changed so many lives over the last few weeks. I got to experience that by volunteering for the holidays. We'll get there. But tell us a little bit about where that philanthropic spirit comes from. Like, did you grow up doing those things? Like, where does that come from for you?
Well, Yes, I would like to preface it by giving my family upbringing a little bit of credit. Like, we've always had the mantra, do good to others, make sure that, you're giving back where you can. Although never on a scale like this. I think the spirit of how much we've accomplished here in Sarasota comes from the community that we're in and just the support that everybody always gives anyone who's trying to do something nice in this community. And B, that drive just comes from like my children, and they're watching us, and I know that whatever that I'm doing is an example for them. So yeah, it's twofold. It's both of those. It takes everything.
I love that. Now, you have been in the Sarasota area for how many years now?
My husband was born and raised here, and so he is one of the last few local Sarasota natives, but he and I moved back here as a family, which was my first time in Sarasota 11 years ago now.
Got it. And where did you grow up? Where were you born and raised?
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, so dirty South.
There you go. And then
Yeah.
you went from Atlanta to Miami. Is that, or how did you get to Florida?
So I met Ryan, my husband, in Miami on vacation, and it was kind of love at first sight for both of us. So 6 months of long distance dating, and then I moved down to Miami. We started a family. Once we started a family, we decided to move back to Sarasota where the school systems are great. This is literally why we moved here. So having a nonprofit that's based in schools is really close to my heart. But yeah, we moved here because the lifestyle was better. The public school systems were great. So we moved back to Sarasota when I was 9 months pregnant
Mm.
with my
Wow,
second
yeah, that's
child.
so funny. We moved here when I was, gosh, 7 months pregnant. Went with our first and only. But all right, so let's talk about this episode. Really, I wanted to feature what you're doing because it's so incredible. And normally we get more into someone's personal story, but I really would like it, if it's okay with you, to highlight the work that you're doing because it's so incredible. So you run a not-for-profit called Holiday House, which has been around for how long now?
Yes, so it's in its fifth operational year, but we're only been an official nonprofit going on our second year.
Okay. Where was the baby, this one, which I'm sure took longer than 9 months? Where was it born? Like, tell us about how you got this idea to create this incredible program, and then we'll talk about what it is.
Sure. So I have always been a very hands-on volunteer at my daughter's schools. Going back to why we moved here is it was very important for me to be involved in their education. So I was a PTO president at their elementary school. I did all the events. One of the events was a holiday house. This is not a new concept for schools. Holiday house at our school was paid for by the PTO. At every school, it looks a little different. Sometimes children have to bring in money and they shop based on whatever amount of money their parents allotted them. At our particular school at Southside, the PTO paid for it. So each child could choose a gift for free. But again, back to the PTO, which we fundraised for all year. One of the years, when I think my third year doing it, I realized the light bulb went off and I'm like, well, what about the school next door that doesn't have a PTO and they don't have funding? I wonder if they've ever had a holiday house. So I was just talking to my principal and I said, if they've never had a holiday house, I bet you we could borrow these decorations and take like this concept and do a pop-up over at MIE Booker and maybe like next year because it takes a lot of time to buy all these gifts in different categories and each kid is getting 5 gifts. So as you can do the math, it's thousands of items per school. So
Yeah.
I was thinking out loud, and she goes, I love the idea. I'm going to call the principal. So she calls the principal, and she comes back and she goes, they want you to do it next week. And I'm like, next week? Like, it's Friday today, and you're trying to tell me you want to do it on Monday? And she goes, that's correct. And I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to get all this inventory from. So that I was like, let me see, but they said it was extremely important to them and they expressed how much they wanted us. So my co-founder and I looked at each other and we said, we've got to make this happen one way or another. How do we get all these thousands of items within a weekend? So we looked at each other and we said, we're just going to write a check to our PTO for the remainder of the items. We'll do an all call to our friends and family and see if we can raise any money. And we'll rent a U-Haul and we'll go to the Dollar Tree and we'll buy all the remaining presents and we'll see what we can do with our community. So we sent out a mass text message to our friends, and neighbors. And within 2 hours, we had double what we were looking for.
Oh my God.
So when I say Sarasota has just the biggest giving heart, it's true because we were thinking maybe we won't raise all the money and we'll have to write a check and ask for forgiveness from our families than
Mm.
permission. But no, in fact, we not only raised everything we needed to raise, but we raised extra, which was really nice coincidence because the model of Holiday House is really to give the kids presents. But what we didn't expect is that it really was a foot in our door to find out deeper, unrooted, and unmet needs within the Title I school systems. So while we were there putting on the Holiday House, of course, everybody was thrilled. But then we started talking to the administration, and there was kids who, there were homeless families who didn't have resources to take them through the 2-week break. There was a lot of foster children. There were story after story of unmet needs. And with those extra funds that we raised, we were able to meet those needs. So that's where the concept was born, and that's where the idea sprouted. Um, from there, we got requests from other schools because all the admin talked to the
Wow.
other admin and schools talked to
Oh,
schools.
I can
So
imagine.
we got requests almost overnight to expand. And from there, we've expanded one school per year. And now we're in our 5th year. We're in 5 schools.
Whew. That is so incredible. So tell us a little bit about what that actually means. Like I got to experience it. I posted on social media about my day just there being setting it up. And it's just, I mean, tell us from the beginning. Okay, so you're now you've just finished the schools, right? Today was like the last day, or last Friday was the last day of the schools getting their gifts, correct?
Last Wednesday, we
Yeah.
ran Monday through Wednesday simultaneously in all 5 Title I schools we serve.
So then you break it down. So now you start planning for next year. So walk us through what that looks like. Sorry, not to get you all stressed out,
Yeah.
but it's good stress. Walk us through what that looks like, now starting to plan for next year, what resources you have, what resources you need, and what that looks like if you're going to add a sixth school as well too. So walk us through a little bit about that.
Yeah. So logistically, every year we've had to pivot because we've had growth. So what we do with one school doesn't translate to when you're doing 4 schools or 5 schools. We've had to add more storage units where we used to be like 100% volunteer run, where the first few years we really were packing up our minivans and all of our mom cars and doing all the moves ourselves. Once you get to 3 schools and above, that's not logistically possible. It would take forever. There's so many runs back and forth. So we hired movers. Um, we have extra storage units. Now we're up to 3 storage units. We're still 100% volunteer run in the sense that every board member and every captain is unpaid and they're doing this voluntarily, but we do have movers like I mentioned, and so there are some minute costs, but it's still extremely low. It's one of the only organizations that I know of where almost 100% of your donations go right into the school system, because there's such little overhead. But so yeah, now we have to send thank you cards to all of our donors that have given for the end of year giving and participated in donating for our schools. And starting the new year, we'll have to sit down with our board and come up with an inventory list of what we have to fulfill. Shopping starts. We, like I said, we have almost 35,000 items that we have to buy,
Wow.
uh, in across 5 or 6 different categories. Everybody has a category. So mom has a category, dad, pet, toys, teen. You saw the setup. So
It's
we
so
do
amazing. Like you literally
we
walk in the room, it's like a winter wonderland of
Well,
everything you can
the
imagine.
kids get to pick their own gift out of.
Yeah, so they get six, right? They get five. They get to choose five gifts for a family member. That's why there's stuff for mom, dad,
Oh,
teens, pet, and then one for themselves at no cost. Is that correct?
no cost. So it's also, again, one of those few organizations, I don't know of any other, that allows the children to be the giver, which is such an empowering thing, especially when you're talking about a student who is at or below the poverty line. It's such a unique opportunity for them to be seen and valued and for them to be the decision maker. And not only are they deciding who they're shopping for and who they're identifying who their biggest loved ones are, which is a really special for a volunteer to hear because a lot of the times, if they don't have both sets of parents or we don't know what their living conditions are. The teacher is often the time the person that they're shopping for, or their good friends, and it's really endearing to see that. But yes, so they get 5 gifts for loved ones plus something for themselves, because at the end of the day, these are children who are 11 and under, and they just get so excited. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's just
it's really
elementary
special.
school. Yeah. But you don't
Elementary
even,
school.
it's not like you just walk into a room. Listener, it's like you walk into this room and you have, Seppi and your team have thought of the most, I mean, like, I want you to plan every birthday party for me from now on because you walk in this room and if you need to see pictures, we'll post some pictures as well too. Or if you go to the website or you follow Holiday House on socials, you'll see that. And it's Holiday House SRQ, right? That's the call. Yeah.
HolidayHouseSRQ.org. And if it's on Instagram or Facebook, it's Holiday House SRQ.
So you walk in and the walls, this might have been a classroom, but it looks like a winter wonderland. The walls are draped with curtains and there's the blow-ups for Hanukkah and Christmas and there are lights and there is just magic and there's a picture place. And then also in some of the schools, maybe not all of them, there's a room where they can actually write their thing. Was it they were doing something else in the separate room? I got there to set up. What are they doing the other room? But tell us a little about that.
So we have a holding area for each school because we want each kid to really take their time. They're paired intentionally 1-to-1 volunteer ratio. We want this volunteer to really invest every moment with them. We're going through their personal list. We're going through all the categories in the room, and we want them to be transported. After all, it's really not about the presents. It's about investing time into the student and giving them an experience. And so that's how we do that. So they come in as the whole class, they go into this waiting area, they get snack bags that are prepared by our volunteers. Every the last 2 years, we've had teen volunteers prepare over 2,000 bags. So it's a great way for the teen volunteers in our community to get involved. They prepare the snack bags. Each student gets a snack bag. They each get their own white bag and they color these bags. They write thank you notes to the volunteers. They're just chatting. There's like a fireplace on the TV. There's blow ups. We get them in the mood. And then the volunteers call them up one at a time and they go into the store where it's totally transformed, and the looks on their faces is priceless because that's the currency that we need to give us fuel for the next year. They get so excited, and then you hear each kid's story and what they're all about and what's going on for them in the holiday time. And we have story after story that would really bring tears to anybody's eyes, but we're making a difference. And we have volunteers from every walk of life, from temples, from churches, teens skip school to give back that day. We have the Sarasota Police Department volunteering. We have the school board members coming. We have commissioners coming. So we really try to rope in as many diverse volunteers as possible. And they're all paired up with these children seeing the same thing.
It is. I mean, I walked in and I remember I like lost it. Like I like literally got so overwhelmed by how incredible the room was. It's just amazing. I wish I could have been there the day they're shopping, but next year you can count on me. I definitely want to be more of that. And you get requests all of the time to do more of this. But literally you were saying 35,000 or 75,000 gifts. I forget what you said. What was the number?
Right now, we're up to about shopping for, because remember, even though each kid gets 6 items and we're serving 2,500 kids right now, we don't want that last day feeling scarce or picked over. So we want that last day of shopping to be just as magical as when the first kid came in on day one. So we have about 50 to 60,000 items in our storage right now.
And where do you get all the items from? Like where, like can people donate items if they have them, or they're new items, I believe. So where do they come from? How can people help you with getting more?
We don't allow donations of toys because we want every school to feel the same. And if we start accepting donations, like we may get a $5 donation toy or a $15 donation toy, most of our toys are $3 and under. So again, it's really not about the toy. It's about the experience and the sentiment. But our captains do all the shopping and we do it in bulk, and then we divide it evenly across all schools. So we have a sorting day, but we shop from the Dollar Tree, we shop from Temu, we shop from Shein, we shop from Amazon. Anything that we can do in bulk and then break it up, that's the concept.
Got it. And so I know that, people are saying, I want it at my school, want it at this school, what can people do to help you to make it even more magical next year for even more schools, or even if they're thinking about doing it This is a, globally watched podcast. And there are kids all over the world and families all over the world who can create these magical moments. And you have done it. You've done it successfully. You are a great resource to help others figure out how to do that. So, what can they do if they want to start it in their community or if they want to support you even more in your community?
Well, I would definitely encourage getting on our contact list at holidayhousesrq.org. If anybody has any questions about how to take this idea and concept to their community, I'm happy to help. We're always accepting donations. One thing we never talked about is, identifying those unmet needs in those schools. Using Holiday House is really the facade, to the home. So it's the front door to the home. Behind the scenes, we're meeting a lot of unmet needs. So we had a sneaker drive where we literally sized and custom sized and gave every kid brand new sneakers at some of our
Right.
schools. That day when we were doing that sneaker drive, one kid did show up with no sneakers on his feet, which is unfathomable to us, but it does happen. So all of our schools have been offered that service. We've created uniform closets in our schools where we're providing, at the beginning of the year, we email every school counselor and we ask them, what do you need? We don't assume. And they give us a specific list and we go out and fulfill those needs. So uniform bottoms, underwear, socks, those are some of the things that we're providing. We've also just last week paid off lunch school debt for two of our schools who have expressed that they need that. So we are doing a lot of things behind the scenes that the kids will never know about, nor should they know about, but we're just making it a more healthy environment. And whatever we can do to make sure that they're not being sent home because they're not prepared for circumstances outside of their control, that's what we're going to do. So, yes, I encourage the listeners to explore our website. And really, for that reason, we're taking monetary donations only because we're responding to real time needs, which are very different from school to school.
Sure. And I would imagine you're still accepting volunteers to help on those days with everything as well too. So monetary donations as well as their time. Would that be an accurate statement?
Absolutely. Yes. That's why I mentioned fill out that contact form because when we have those sneaker drives or when we do an all call for uniform donations or when we have the holiday gift shop, we send out e blasts to everybody with those volunteer links. So if you're on that contact list, you'll get that opportunity to volunteer for a slot.
You get a break after the holidays, kind of regroup yourself, at least a month or so.
My plan is to at least take off the very last week of school. Like I said, we have to really make sure that we're thanking our donors who have volunteered with their time. We have to do a couple e-blasts and we have to catch up on all the, back end things. But my plan is to take a week or two off and then we jump right back into it after the new year.
I mean, it's
Full
no,
time, full time.
yeah, it's no wonder you have received that award. I mean, it is just, and this is just one thing that you do. I know you're also, philanthropic throughout the community in other ways as well too, but this is just, I knew as soon as I had the opportunity to experience it myself, I've told so many people about it. I hope that you've
You
gotten
did
more
it
volunteers.
here?
No, we did it in Sarasota County. It's right now, it's only in Sarasota County. But I know that there are people who are interested in bringing it to the counties surrounding and getting it in more schools. I'm sure there are more Title I schools, but not even a Title I school, a school that there are kids that just don't have this opportunity to be able to give and to also get. And is there any story that you can remember off the top of your head of an experience? Obviously, don't share names, but that really, made you just understand the powerful work that you're doing?
Well, so many. I mean, just off the top of my head, the one student who showed up without sneakers on our sneaker drive, that was extremely powerful. And when those teachers went back and had their children wrote us thank you notes, and they are so special because a lot of those kids never had their own sneaker for them. They were hand me downs. They were had holes in them. They were too big or too small. So for them to write us and say, "Oh, I got to pick out my own Nike sneakers and they were pink and thank you so much." And then the admin sends us a picture of, the majority of the kids wearing their brand new sneakers the next day. that touches your heart.
But see,
Um,
this kid was ahead of the curve. He knew he was getting a pair of free sneakers, so why wear another pair? You got to discard. You're going to get a pair
No,
to get
that's not what
discarded.
happened.
no, no, he didn't. No, that's
That's
not what
not what
happens. But
happened.
Class president.
Yeah, no.
can't think. But for the listeners, it is important to clarify, what does a Title One school mean? A Title One school means that 70% or more of the students are at or below the poverty line.
Hmm.
So that is what Title One, they qualify for free and reduced lunches. So they're sending their, tax income forms
Hmm.
and literally proving that. But this year we had a new captain running. Her name is Lori, and she was running one of our existing schools. And she said that she had. I said, "What did you have a one particular student that stood out to you?" And she said, "He comes in. He was very deflated. Who even knows what he's been going through? He got his white bag, and instead of coloring like most kids do, he just wrote the words why, and just indicating that what's the point." So she really spent time with him, sat down with him, gave him a snack, and started reviewing his list and saying, that how meaningful it would be if they went shopping together for those people, and how much it would mean to them if their loved ones to have like something that's a sentiment from him. So slowly but surely he started warming up, and she said when he walked into that room it was like all his troubles faded for the moment.
That's
He
fabulous.
saw the lights, he saw the blow ups, he saw the excitement, and he did end up becoming softer and just warming up to the whole idea and the concept. And by the time he left the room, he was smiling ear to ear. So that's the reason for the season, is if we can make an impact on one child and make them feel seen and valued for that moment, then that's worth it.
That's incredible. And this is for elementary school age of students, so kindergarten through fifth grade. This is right now in Sarasota County. You're looking to hopefully support more schools, but that takes money and that takes volunteers. So, listener, if you were listening and this is something that, warms your heart, which I can't imagine how it doesn't, you can go to holidayhousesrq.org and get involved. And Sepi, I can't just even begin to tell you how incredible you are, what you're doing, how magical that room was, and just thank you. I know today was a busy day because you're breaking everything down and you found time to talk with us so that we could post this right around the holiday time so people can know just the power of it's not about just, giving certain gifts, about the gifts that you do give. And a lot of time that is your time and your thoughtfulness. So I'm blown away by you. Thank you so
And this,
much.
all this effort, the year-long effort, culminates in like 2 weeks before Christmas in December.
Well, and the sneaker drive was earlier in the year.
The sneaker drive was early in the year. We also partnered with a local church who did the second sneaker drive in August, so right before school, and we provided them with the sneakers. But the gift shop for the holidays happens the second week of December simultaneously. And it really is, it's our volunteers that provide the magic. Every captain that we have is a board member. Every board member has donated financially and with their time. And they're the ones that really give from the heart, because they're the ones setting up each school, breaking down each school, shopping with the students, and they're really pouring from every ounce of love that they have into the schools and into their students. So it's the volunteers that create the magic.
What a program! Wow.
It's amazing. Would you have any idea of, I've got two questions for you. Well, first of all, I know you don't take toys, but if somebody owns a sporting goods store or has like a shoe store and they wanted to donate sneakers, that would be something that you would accept, I would imagine.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
definitely we would accept sneakers for sure.
What would you say if somebody wanted to sponsor an entire school? Is there a dollar amount that you could put towards that that says, hey, to take on a school and sponsor it all, write us a check for $50,000? Is there a dollar amount there? You're like, yes, we'll take that. But like,
Jamie, we didn't discuss
I
this.
know, Dad. No. Is there an amount that if someone's just thinking to give an idea, or I don't know if that even equates.
Yeah, right now to sponsor a school, it's between 15 and $20,000. And we have had some generous donors through our local Gulf Coast Community Foundation and our Sarasota Community Foundation, that have found people that want to sponsor schools. So we've been very blessed to have their support. But yes, if somebody who was listening really felt like this cause tugged at their heartstrings and they felt passionately about it, we can absolutely sponsor school for next season. It's really helpful.
Amazing. Sepi, thank you so much for what you're
Thank
doing for our
you.
community and for sharing your story. And I know you have a personal story too, so we'll have you back another time to talk about that. But I just thought we had this great opportunity to share this holiday season about the magic that is created and how it started just from a conversation and what you were able to build and how many lives you've changed in the last 5 years and how you will continue doing that. Our community is grateful to have you in it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thanks for taking time to talk with us, two knuckleheads, about what you're doing.
And tell Ryan he gets back into your life.
Guys, what?
He
Well,
gets back into
Oh
her
yeah,
life.
yeah. She gets so yeah, yeah.
thank you for coming, Jamie, to see what it's all about and for giving us a platform to spread the news about our organization. We're so small, so any kind of exposure really helps, and we're so grateful to you.
I love it. Well, we will see you soon. We are connected, obviously, in other ways, but so grateful for
Yes.
you.
Happy
Amazing.
holidays.
Thank you. Enjoy the
All
time
right.
off,
Thank
and thanks,
you.
Abby, for being with us.
I'll see you
All
soon.
right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Get some
Bye.
rest. Get some rest.
Yes. I'll get a
Bye-bye.
massage. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
There you go. Bye, Stephanie.
Bye.
Thank you.
Ooh,
Oh my, right? I mean, like,
super volunteer,
I
but
can't
I feel more
even.
inadequate now.
She is like, I mean, when I walked in that room, I didn't know what I was volunteering for. And everyone's saying volunteer. And my schedule is always booked out months in advance. I didn't know if I could find time. And I found the time and I was like, I'm hooked. I want to do more. When I win the Powerball, the $1.1 billion, as my husband keeps texting me to go buy tickets
It's a
a
curse.
few weeks ago.
It's a curse.
No, but I want to donate like that. I mean, like, that's the thing. I know it sounds silly, but like, really, like, just
Well,
there's
it's
just,
so important for the kids. The childhood should be uneventful, should be fun. A lot of times it's not. These kids need a lot of help.
right. I explained to my daughter that when someone comes to school and they're not kind to you, it's not always about you. It's most of all about you. It's about, we don't know what they're carrying, what's in their bag, what's in their backs, what's happening in their family. And we just heard that right there. Our little boy wrote the word why. And I'm so glad that Lori, thank you, Lori. I got to meet Lori at
How
Mason.
many Title I schools are there in Sarasota?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
If that's happening here in a fairly affluent area, imagine what's happening across the country. It's crazy.
It would blow your mind. It would blow your mind how many families. I know that we have a very high number of children in foster care here as well too. I don't know the statistics right now, but it was way harder than I could ever imagine. And that's why we started this episode talking about that giving doesn't always mean giving gifts to yourself. There's different ways to do things during the holidays. And I know that our family, we choose to during the holidays to give back as well too by helping with angel trees and finding ways to give back because that's not only the lesson to my child to know that it's about giving, more than it is about getting, but it just it just feels good.
So anything that's a holiday house across the country is involved with the school program, no?
No, so Holiday House, like they have a holiday store at our daughter's school this week as well too. Kids can go in. They must, I guess the PTO probably buys some things and kids go in and they pay for items. And the kids don't go in, they don't pay a dime. They are able to shop for 6 items. I mean, it is, and when I tell you these items, I mean it's things that you would see at the dollar store that you wouldn't think were as valuable. Maybe some, maybe would, right? But it's like everything from tumblers to earrings to hair ties to dog pets to
Some,
I mean
some
everything,
occasion.
hairbrushes, stuff that we don't realize some kids don't have. So this holiday season, we just want to say, first of all, thank you. We are so grateful that you choose to listen to us as your podcast. We see the numbers, we see where you're listening from. We are global, and it is amazing. We started this as a passion project for me to get my dad on video and to connect, and we're so grateful for your support. Wishing you all a holiday filled with so much light. No matter what you celebrate, find those that you love and connect. And we're grateful for this
I'm
opportunity.
only doing this for 30 more years, then I'm done. I'm finished. After
I'll
30
take
years,
it.
I'm out.
I'll take it.
Okay.
All right. Love you, Dad. Happy holidays.
You too. Bye-bye.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Everybody,
Thanks.
same to you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, thank you for tuning into today's What's Your Story podcast.
To learn more or share your story, go to jamiemarco.com. That's www.jaimemarco.com. And we will see you next time.